Hey guys, happy Saturday evening. This is the now sixth time I'm doing this video. I just filmed the whole thing and I don't know how, but I deleted it. Ugh, that sucks, but that's okay because maybe I'm supposed to read it a seventh time. Maybe, who knows. Anyways, y'all, this video is going to be kind of long. I know that I said I was going to do a video on my recovery from drug addiction, but actually the video I want to do today is I actually read an old post in my journal. It's from January 7th, 2020. And it's not actually a journal entry. It's something I wrote that I had planned to post on my blog. However, I forgot that I closed my blog. I don't know why I did that. Probably because I was afraid. But I'm not afraid anymore, so I guess I'm going to have to start that all over again. But anyways, now that this is my seventh time recording this, I'm kind of relaxing. I'm going to kick my legs up and read this all over again. And it's kind of long, so please stay till the end. And if you make it to the end, please leave a comment. It means a lot to me to read comments on anything that I post, video I share. I really love comments and feedback. It's always a good thing. So take that in mind for other people's photos, videos. Leave them a comment. Don't just like the button. Leave a comment. People really like that. I know I do. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just read this to y'all. It's the start of a new decade and the closing of one chapter. I competed in my last bodybuilding show August of 2010. I didn't plan on stopping, but that's how life works sometimes. For the past 10 years, I've been through many highs and lows. I struggled to down my bland, dry, boiled chicken. I hid food wrappers under the seat of my truck and ate food out of the trash can. I spent hours in the gym flexing my muscles in the mirror and twice as long at home, and then I would spend hours crying in bed. I was a mess and on the fast track to crash and burn. I was known by the outside world as the gym rat or the fitness nut, but behind closed doors, I was a self-inflicting pain monster. I was an ashamed, self-conscious, scared, and lost woman. I forgot to tell you, I had a boyfriend during all of this. A man that always told me how beautiful and wonderful I was. His words were lies to me. How could he see beautiful when I looked in the mirror and saw pure horror? So they were lies, right? He would leave me eventually, or I would inevitably fuck things up, like normal. Strangely, though, he never left. I pushed him to his limits just so I could say, see, I knew you didn't love me. But from his limits, he still loved me. My story is not just learning to love myself, but a real love story between two people with great odds against them. He is my husband now, and we fought tooth and nail to get here. There were intense fights, several breakups, a sold truck, and a one-way ticket to LA. That's a whole story in itself. Through all of that, our divine love pulled us together. We married in 2016, surrounded by our intimate families. Keeping with tradition, his father married us on a hot Saturday in July. I married my best friend that day. I married my ally. I married the person that God had created for me. My father stood next to me outside the church doors. He was beaming with joy. I, on the other hand, thought I was going to puke. I stood out front of that church shaking and pale. I was so nervous I thought I might pass out. My dad looked to me and smiled and said, "Am I going to have to drag you down the aisle?" With a chuckle. The piano began to play the song I'm sure Jason Mraz wrote for us. If you've never heard I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz, pause this video. Well, I actually said pause this page. We can't really pause a page. Pause this video and go and look it up. This song is my husband and I written in lyrics. The double doors opened and I linked arms with my father. All my fears had vanished in that moment. I could see my family, my future husband, and every girl's dream of her father walking her down the aisle, passing her off from one man to the man she will spend the rest of her life with. It was magical in every way. That day was worth the 7-year wait. Don't be fooled by what I just told you. I was still at war with myself and chock full of insecurities. But he chose to marry me anyways. The next 2 years were filled with many tears and tons of unknowns. We had gone through so much together, but my downward spiral was jeopardizing our marriage. The insecurities about my body had taken over my life. Every word out of my mouth was, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I'm ugly. I would starve myself, then binge in secret. I would cry myself to sleep, and when he tried to comfort me, I pushed him away. His comfort eventually turned to anger. Naturally, I had pushed his emotions to the edge. His anger stemmed from not understanding how he could say all the wonderful things about me, and yet I still cried. He felt like his love didn't matter. His love meant everything. But what mattered most was the love I so longed for myself. I wanted the hurtful thoughts to stop. I couldn't live the rest of my life in so much pain. I was suffering immensely. I wanted to die if my life was destined to be this way. Life was not worth living. After one especially hard day, I decided I wanted and needed help. I made a phone call and scheduled an appointment with a psychiatrist. I was crying on the phone with the receptionist. I was begging for help. The woman could tell I was in crisis mode and got me in the next day. That short phone call gave me the hope I had been praying for. I started my healing journey the next day. With a prescription in hand and another appointment with a therapist, I felt hopeful for the first time in many years. I met with my therapist once a week for the next 8 months and continued to take my daily medication. After just 3 months, I was showing major changes. I no longer had any thoughts when I looked in the mirror. I was just me seeing my reflection, nothing more. I quit questioning my husband's compliments and I began enjoying going out. As I grew stronger within myself, our marriage began to flourish. We started going out with friends, and to my surprise, nobody mentioned my body or asked if I was still competing. Nobody said not to talk about those things, but in past outings, I would always make a point to bring up my body and how I let it go. I always pointed out my insecurity so nobody else had a chance. I had normal conversations and found that I'm pretty good at making people laugh and have fun. Woohoo! The me I always knew I was finally coming out. People liked me, and more importantly, I loved me. This work never stops. It's like golfing. It takes constant practice to get good and stay good. In addition to therapy and medication, I found podcasts. Podcasts are free therapy in your hands. I was Googling things all wrong in the beginning. Typing in the search bar, how to stop binge eating, how to lose weight for good, how to stop eating sweets. I got OA listings, health coaches, personal trainers, diet sites, and almost everything in between. All of these Google recommendations drove me deeper into my disorder. During therapy, I tried a different search. How to love my body. How do I end my fear of food? Do I have to diet? What appeared after I hit enter took my recovery to a whole new level. I found body positivity and intuitive eating. Both have profoundly changed my life. I have a long list of podcast subscriptions and an Instagram filled with people who teach me to love me for who I am. I can tell you with 100% honesty that I love myself. I love my life, and I am so in love with the man that stood by me while I struggled and eventually recovered. I use the word recovered, even though I'll always be in recovery. The daily practice never ends. I have recovered my mind that is now filled with thoughts of love, kindness, and compassion. I have recovered my body that is now free to move the way it feels best and most free. I have recovered my spirit that now sees the brightness through even the darkest storm. My spirit radiates the joy that has been trapped for more than 15 years. I am recovered, but always in recovery. As you can see, this is not just about me. It's also about the bonds we create with others. It's the love we have that keeps us going. Can you imagine if the word love did not exist? I can, but I don't want to. Because of love, I am here today writing this. The love I always had for my husband and the newfound love I have for myself. We are all deserving of a life filled with joy, laughter, compassion, and to me, most importantly, love. We deserve to be loved so deeply and compassionately by ourselves and others. I may be getting a little redundant, but I must make sure you hear me. Love binds us all. Love heals the deepest wounds. Love brings new life into this world. And it's with great love that I share this shortened down version of a very big time in my life. Love, Emily Southern. That is a very shortened down version of a very big time in my life. I can't describe how thankful I am to be at this point in time, this point in my life. Because had you asked me 10 years ago, did I think that I would get here? I would have told you hell no. I was so in despair. I honestly didn't think that I would make it here. There's been 2 times in my life where I never thought I would make it out. The time in my drug addiction and the time through my eating disorder. I never thought I would recover. And I am so grateful to say today that I'm 100% recovered from both. And I almost think that my eating disorder was worse than my drug addiction. My drug addiction lasted 3 years, but my eating disorder and my body disorder lasted 10 years. And it shattered my soul to its core. But not anymore. Woohoo! So if you are struggling with an eating disorder or body image issues, there is recovery out there for you. And I have a few podcasts that I'll mention. One of them has nothing to do with recovery from an eating disorder or body image issues, but it's one of the first podcasts that I found, and it's Inspire Nation by Michael Sandler, and it is so inspiring, so motivating, just for life in general, to step out of our comfort zones and to face fear and kick fear in its ass and start living our lives now. You have to listen to it. It's absolutely amazing. Some of the podcasts that I listened to help me with my my food and recovery from my eating disorder are Fearless Rebel Radio, which is all about loving your body, self-love, healing. She interviews some amazing people, and this is a must. Another one is Food Psych, and I think that's by Christy Harrison. She's a registered dietitian, and she's amazing, absolutely amazing. She also interviews amazing people like Evelyn Resch and is it Evelyn? I think I have the names wrong. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Well, let's not say authors, okay? But Food Psych is really, really good. And then Dietitians Unplugged is also a really amazing podcast. If you haven't read the book Intuitive Eating by... let me go see if I can't find the book, 'cause I really don't want to get this wrong. Let me see. I know I have the book. Here. Okay, sorry. So I don't know how, but my video cut me off. Maybe it's like a 15-minute max, maybe. Okay, so sorry. It's Evelyn Tribole and Elise Rush. Sorry. Intuitive Eating. Sorry, that's backwards. Yeah. Anyways, the book is called Intuitive Eating by Evelyn Tribole and Elise Rush. I highly recommend that y'all get this book. If you cannot afford to buy this book, please DM me. I will mail whoever this book that I have. It's one copy. And the only thing I ask that you do is that once you finish reading it, that you pass it along also. This book is a must read if you're trying or you're on your journey to recovery from, even if you don't have a diagnosed eating disorder, if you are suffering, this book is a game changer. And I'm sorry, I said like really a lot. So I'm going to work on that, finding replacement words, filler words. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate y'all watching that video. It was incredibly long, but it was, oh, I said, damn. Gosh, guys, why? Ugh. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have an amazing weekend. Stay safe. Stay positive. Kick fear's ass. And do something this weekend that you are afraid of. Do something. I don't care what it is. You want to wear a bathing suit? Shit, wear your bathing suit. Oh, I got a bathing suit this weekend. Well, I got it I got one yesterday. Actually, it was too small, so I went and got a new one today. Look at this bathing suit and this cover up. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Yeah. Anyways, have an amazing weekend, guys. Bye.